Good afternoon, everybody watching. Thanks so much for tuning in. This is going to be a quick video. Aston Villa have moved swiftly after a 3-3 draw with Preston and have sacked Steve Bruce, according to Sky sources. If you are new checking this channel, don't forget to subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it. I do championship previews and reviews as well as these kind of breaking news videos, so feel free to get involved. But Steve Bruce has been sacked by Aston Villa. So the new owners came in over the summer, and so I had a lot of traction on some videos I did on this, and there was talk of someone like Thierry Henry coming in, who left Sky Sports over the summer, but that never materialised and he was safe in his job. So Steve Bruce has been backed by Tony Gia massively to the hilt, and I don't think anyone can disagree with that. He came in first time round in October 2016, a few months after they got relegated from the Premier League. Roberto Di Matteo was absolutely dreadful as manager, and during that time he brought in the likes of Henry Lansbury, Bjarnason, Conor Hourihane and Scott Hogan. As well as that, they already signed a plethora of good players: Jedinak, Jonathan Kodja, Ross McCormack, Tommy Elphick. Over that season, they ended up finishing mid-table after a very, very poor start that didn't see them get a win. Well, one win in that time in the first 3 months of the season. Very, very poor indeed. They went on a bad run in January as well, but got things relatively back in order for a big push the following season, so 2017-18, the one that has just gone. This is where Aston Villa finished 4th in the championship and were in the playoffs. They beat Middlesbrough. They won 2-0, I believe, away from home. No, sorry, 1-0, and it was Jedinak who got that goal, and then a 0-0 draw in the second leg saw them into the final. Unfortunately for Aston Villa, they lost in the final, Kearney scoring the only goal for Fulham, and Aston Villa were facing a 3rd season in the championship. During this season, once again, he was backed very, very well by the owners, bringing in Christopher Samba, John Terry, whose wages must have been high in the sky, Glenn Whelan and El Mohammadi. As well as this, several quality loan players were also brought in: Lewis Graben, Robert Snodgrass and Sam Johnston, who is doing very well now with West Brom. So they're really disappointing. And then there was all these problems off the pitch. New owners came in. Dr. Tony is still involved, but this season it hasn't been anywhere near what is expected of a club like Aston Villa. A big, big club, far too large to be in the championship. A lot of players went. Abong Lahore, who's been in there for his whole entire career, he went, as did Christopher Samba and John Terry. But after everything had happened, there was a few signings right at the end. Nyland, the goalkeeper, and John McGinn, who started very, very well for Aston Villa. But once again, he relied heavily on the loan market, bringing in Twanzebe from Manchester United, Al Ghazi from Lille, Yannick Bolasie from Everton, and Tammy Abraham from Chelsea. We just have a look at his games so far. So in the EFL Cup, they're already out. They lost to Burton of League One 1-0 in a very, very disappointing game for them. They made probably too many changes in the competition that could have really, really helped their momentum. But Aston Villa won their first 2 games of the season against Hull City 3-1 and Wigan 3-2. This is when the problems started to come to light. Just 1 win in their last 10 games, which would be 11 games including the EFL Cup. Draws against the likes of Ipswich, Reading and Preston, all sides that are desperately fighting for survival this season, have not been good enough. They got a late draw against the likes of Brentford. Their only wins have come against relatively opposition that they should be beating. Teams that are struggling: Hull City, Rotherham, and the only win besides that is Wigan, who recently got promoted, and that was the second game of the season. It has not been good enough by this team. There is so many players in this squad that are very, very good, but it's not only that, the tactics have been questioned by the Aston Villa supporters. There's been lots of very, very strange moves, like Jedinak playing at centre-back and players playing out of position. One problem that is currently being exercised is the lack of defensive partnerships. There's only really two central defenders there in Twanzebe, who's been playing out on the right hand side, I believe, and James Chester, who they will now be without after being red carded. There is so much talent still in this side. The likes of Scott Hogan, Tammy Abraham, and Jonathan Kodja, as well as going into midfield, Jack Grealish, somebody who was wanted by Tottenham Hotspur in the summer, Cora Horahain, Balassi, Henry Lansbury. John McGinn, obviously, was coming as well. So many quality players. This squad is so much better than where they currently are. And I don't think any fan, Steve Bruce as well, would disagree that Aston Villa should be in the top 6 from the get-go. 2 defeats. And the real killer is those 6 draws. If they'd have got more than that, then that would help. The fact is, I don't think the fans are happy with Bruce. And once the fans aren't happy and voice their concerns, it's only a matter of time until that person is no longer in a job. Aston Villa, I'd imagine they'll try and get somebody who is known for playing good, wonderful, beautiful style of football. The kind of football that would be brilliant at Villa Park. Personally, if they get this appointment right, I was listening to the Sports Bar on Talk Sports last night. Somebody suggested Brentford's Dean Smith. That would be a very, very good appointment indeed. It'd be interesting to see where the new owners goes. But after the whole cabbage thing and just all of the problems, all the negativity, I think Aston Villa have made a harsh but correct move. I feel that this was only going to get worse. There was a video of him doing his interview I saw earlier, and he looked like a beaten, broken man. Excuses after excuses, and I feel Aston Villa have made the right decision at the right time. Just one more game until the international break, and that will give them plenty of time, if they need it, to get someone in. But tell me your thoughts down below on this story. He has been sacked and is going to be leaving Aston Villa. Who would you like, Aston Villa fans? Who would you like to be your new manager? Would you like somebody of experience, somebody up and coming, like a bit like Dean Smith, somebody totally out the blue, Thierry Henry? Tell me your thoughts down below. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Subscribe if you are new. My name is Mike, and I will see you soon.